Hey guys, good morning. This is Todd with the Sports Card of the Day channel. Been a while since I have made any kind of video. Been on a hiatus of epic proportions, and so this is going to be a little bit of a different sort of video. I was watching this morning. A matter of fact, I missed it last night. It was live. And the channel's The Past is Alive, and it's a great channel. John Jabs runs it, and he does a great job. I consider John a friend. He's sent stuff to me, and I mean, without asking for anything in return. Although I would send him anything I had if he wanted it. Just a really positive influence in the hobby. So I wasn't around last night, and he was opening up an '89 Fleer error box, BBCE Authenticated. And so I was like, interesting. Because when I was a kid, I had plenty of experience with the most famous card out of that box, the Billy Ripken error that we all know so well now. And so I decided to watch the video this morning and see if I was going to be correct about something. So John said he got the box from Baseball Card Exchange. And Steve Hart and those guys do an incredible job. And the box came out of a case dated January of '89. So, and what John was doing was he was selling or dividing the stacks up among his Patreon members. And obviously there's 4 stacks in a box. And I wasn't there last night live, or I probably would have said this, but January '89, that was early in the print run. And I was like, okay, I want to see, I'm going to be correct. Okay, so he went around and did the first top stack, then he did the top right stack, and then I said, here's where the Ripken's going to be. The bottom left stack, 4th pack down, boom, there it was, the error. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. When I was a youngster, in 1989, when that was coming out, one of my school friends, his dad was a card dealer, and the Fleer rep had kind of let it slip to him intentionally that, before they got this thing corrected, because it was already a mess, that's where the Ripken error card was going to be. So let me tell you what I did, because I was 12 years old. Packs were 50 cents back then, so I went and bought at my local convenience store. They had 2 boxes, brand new, back when convenience stores actually sold cards. So I went up there and reached down the 4th pack on the bottom left stack in each box, took them home, opened them up, Billy Ripken error in each pack. So then I went to the I think Western Auto or one of those other places that's no longer around. They had a couple of boxes, same thing, 2 more. So I had a total of 4. I mean, I'm like a high roller, amongst my friends, because that card had already really started to gain momentum, at least for that time period when a $10 card was a big deal. And then my loudmouth little brother decided to tell my parents, what was on the bat, and that didn't go too well because I hadn't told them, and then I was keeping them, so my dad confiscated them, which to this day, I'll never forget how infuriated I was. And I said, what are you going to do with them? I mean, it's worth money, so I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but you're not going to keep them, because Southern Baptist parents, I mean, that's just the way it is. And so he took them, and I have no idea to this day what he did with them. But I had 4 of those cards. So I thought it was interesting because if I remember correctly, and I'm not saying that I do, March of '89, that's when the case run, according to my friend's dad, they started the correction. The errors were not in there. And it was always 1 error a box. Because when I was watching the break last night, John had said, maybe we'll find another one. And I was like, we're watching it this morning, excuse me. I was like, no way. If you do, that'll be a severe anomaly. And I was happy that he found the one where I figured he was going to find it. And I wish I'd have been in there last night. Because I was going to, that way I could have said, hey, before you start, whoever's got that bottom left stack's going to get the Ripken, which everybody would have thought I would have been, was probably nuts, but that's where it was. And he also found the Randy Johnson, but it was partially blacked out. But he found a bunch of other error cards, wrong backs and stuff like that. So I thought that was quite interesting. And because that was a big deal back in the day, that card. So $200 is what he paid for the box at BBCE. So if somebody ever wants a Ripken bad enough, and they can buy a box that early in the print run, I think they started in November of '88, and his was January of '89. It's going to be a guarantee. It's a guarantee that card's going to be in there. So thought that was interesting. So haven't been on in a while. Not a lot new. Obviously, grading's out of the question. I'm going to show a couple of cards real quick and then get off of here. But in closing, if you've never checked out The Past is Alive, the channel, I highly recommend it. He does Turn Back the Clock Tuesday. He opens boxes a lot. He does a lot of good stuff. I just wanted to put my comments in on this and I haven't even mentioned this to John. I'm just going to post it and go with it. But, I wish I'd have been in there because it would have been like, they would have been like, wow, how does this guy know this information? But it was all because of my friend's dad. Nothing that I knew. So real quick, I went and got some cards and these are not graded, but I had them stored away. So we'll do this really fast. The first one is going to be Mr. Trout, Topps Gallery Heritage. Maybe a little dust on it there. I don't know. Pretty cool card here. I mean, I've got a ton of Trout cards, graded and raw, and I don't care how long he's been out hurt this year, he's still Mike Trout. So, and then this one is interesting, and I'll tell you why. 97 Donruss insert. Albert Bell, as we know, is not the most, but they're numbered to 3,000. This one's all over the place as far as value. I mean, I've seen it go as high as like $25, which is not that big, big of a. But there's a Griffey in this set, a Bonds, and some other guys that can fetch over $100 raw, because they're such a low number. As you can see, this one is 219 out of 3,000, and I've had that card a long time. This card continues to go up by the day. I have 4 of these, and I wouldn't part with one of them at all. If PSA was open, that's where they'd be going if they were reasonable. And it's going raw for obscene amounts. I think you guys all know that, and it should be. Vlad's having an incredible season. The Chrome version, I have 4 of this and 3 of his short print rookies and a ton of the update. And then this card here, I just seen the other day, it went for $54 raw on eBay, and it's not even his rookie. But obviously, anything Ohtani right now is just, off the charts. So I have a couple of these, but because they're chrome, no need to part with those. And the last one is 2019 Series 1 Roberto Clemente Super Short Print. And guess what? I pulled this out of a Walmart retail pack, which I believe the odds back then were like, 1 in 8,000 packs or something like that. I mean, it was ridiculous. This is the only super short print I've ever pulled, hobby or retail. I've pulled a ton of SPs, but these SSPs are really, really tough to come by. This card right now is still fetching $100. Close. One was ending the other day at about 90 because it's Clemente, and he's a legend beyond legends, and there's no way I would ever part with this card. And I could show you guys, I got a whole stack sitting beside the iPad here, the stuff I've got going through, and that I would like to get graded, and stuff I went and got, but I'm not going to take all that time. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was the 89 Fleer Billy Ripken. The cases are dated, not the boxes. So if you buy a box and say, it says up here, it means nothing. And that's what John was talking about last night. You have to get it from a case, and that's what makes BBCE so special, because they can get it pulled from a seal case. So I'll try not to go months again without making a video. Hope everybody's doing well. And remember, check out The Past is Alive. Talk to you soon.